What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Two Worlds Podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Nova to my Zendarian world mind. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. I'm glad you made me the old dick rider.
You're the only dick rider in my mind, buddy.
Thanks, man.
So
Oh,
yeah, how's your week? How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. I got warm today, but it's the life of being on the farm. But the nice part is, since my arm's still broken, I don't have to be in the grain bin because I can't push a broom.
Man, I'm glad that you're not anyways. I know that job absolutely sucks.
I mean, I feel bad because my dad's the one doing it now, and it's just like,
Right.
oh, he's so old.
Yeah, not to rub it in your face, but my day was I laid on the couch
That's
and
nice,
ate
man.
food
Dude,
and watched Peaky Blinders and played
see,
Pokemon.
I've never seen Peaky Blinders. Like that might have been terrible. I don't know.
No, I love it.
Okay, right on.
I never, so like the final season came out earlier this year and I just forgot about it. And it's been a couple of years since like the fifth season came out. So I was like, I just need to like kind of rewatch it and refresh myself because they're like 6 episode seasons. And so I've just been doing that for like the last few days, and it's been really nice.
Right on, man.
You can't go wrong with Killian Murphy. He's
Yeah.
amazing. So
He did this romantic comedy with Lucy Liu that I bought for like $7 at Target one time because I just love Lucy Liu so much. And I think it's called The Watching Detectives. Lucy Liu's just like the bubbly, like cute girl, and then he's like the kind of weirdo book guy that like is the norm for most romantic comedies, and hilarity ensues.
so is it good?
I mean, it's a romantic comedy. If you're in the mood for one of those, I'd say
I
check it out.
mean, who's not in the mood for a little rom-com, huh?
Yeah, right.
Like, come on. You're not too cool for it.
I mean, depends on which one, but there's some that are really good. Like what's that one that was a Netflix exclusive? It had the dude from Ant-Man in it and the one girl that's in Paper Girls. What's it? Like she's a comedian, she's really funny. The movie it was a Netflix Always Be My Maybe. I've talked about it on here before. It's actually hilarious.
Yeah, I have not seen that one.
Yeah, it there's a part with Keanu Reeves plays himself in it, and like that scene itself, like watch it on YouTube. It's so dang funny because he's just
I
such a weird version of himself.
right. I mean, he can make anything funny.
Yeah.
I'll have to add that though, because I like both of them a lot. Probably him a little more than her, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I had something else I wanted to comment on. Oh, yes. The question is, what is your favorite rom-com?
I mean, right now, I'd probably go Always Be Maybe because that's the one that's in my brain. Oh no, 500 Days of Summer. That's for sure. What about you?
That one's sad, but I agree. It's a good one. Probably, man, it's a tie, not to be that guy, but Just Friends is
Oh, that's
amazing.
yeah, that's great.
That's like kind of peak Ryan Reynolds in my opinion.
Yeah,
And then um Crazy Stupid Love is really good too.
that one is really good.
So yeah, those are my two.
So, have you seen either Paper Girls or She-Hulk yet?
She-Hulk, yes.
How is it?
Uh I'm loving it,
Right
honestly.
on. I
Like
need
it's so good.
I plan on checking it out.
Yeah,
Let's see
the
if I actually keep those plans.
right. You will because you like She-Hulk
That's
enough.
true. That is
Um
true.
no, the gal that plays Jen is charming. I haven't really loved the MCU Hulk, but you just kind of have to accept how he is at this point.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
very Hulk like, but he's still fine in his role. But she's great and charismatic, and the first 2 episodes are great. They feel, and it's because they feel so short. Like
Yeah.
I'm used to watching. Well, here lately, Last Kingdom and Peaky Blinders and House of the Dragons, they're all hour-long episodes. And then She-Hulk's like, 25, 30 minutes. I'm like, that's it? Now I gotta wait a week for the next one.
Yeah.
But I think that also just shows how good it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, interested to hear your thoughts once you check that out.
Yeah. How's the CG? Like I got two questions. The CG, is that like about what we expected? Not the best.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And then because I know she did it in the comics, but I'm just not a fan of the breaking the fourth wall stuff. Is it as annoying as I'm expecting it to be, or is it not that bad?
So the first episode, I think it just happens at the beginning and the end. And it happens one time in the second, like during the episode. And it is a little jarring
Yeah.
because, and this doesn't spoil anything, she's like following somebody just like down a hallway, and they like have a conversation, and then she just like starts talking to you. And until
Yeah.
she like turns and looks at the camera, I was like, oh, that's for us. It's just like a little weird.
I gotcha.
But other than that, it's just those few times.
Yeah.
I imagine it'll probably be once or twice per episode, but it's not like Deadpool amounts of breaking the
Yeah.
fourth
Or
wall.
like that Lakers show that's on HBO.
I still need to see that.
You don't. But
Is Adrian Brody in that?
yeah, he's like that's the thing. The Adrian Brody is awesome. Like I'm not a big Adrian Brody fan, but he is so awesome as Pat Riley. I was so wrong about that casting. John C. Riley, awesome as he usually is. The dude that got to play Magic, I don't know who the heck he is, but like he doesn't look like Magic, but the way he talks like Magic, and he sound like has the big dopey Magic voice that Magic has, where it's like, yo, there's charisma there, but boy, I don't like it.
So why don't you like the show though? Why is it skippable?
It's just like stupid. Like the guy, I mean, the person that's making it, I'm not a big fan of his anyway. And it's just like I listened to this podcast once where it was about basketball, and it's just I was like, boy, this is dumb. And then as he's doing this, it's just like, oh, this is dumb. And then you have these people, like these people that were there at the time were like, this isn't accurate at all. And everyone's like, oh, Jerry West is just mad because he's being portrayed like a jerk. And then Kareem's just mad because he's being portrayed like a jerk. Magic's just mad. It's like it's like, or maybe hear me out. This isn't accurate.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if whoever's making it is like saying, no, this is what happened, and it's not like that. But if nobody's claiming it that this is super accurate,
Yeah.
then I think that's something that I personally could look past.
Well, I mean, it's like, as far as I know, the creator of the show is like, he's like, I went off of this book, so it's got to be accurate, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But then now, like, after enough people like went against it, HBO is having to do like a disclaimer. It's like, oh, this is fictional, that type of thing.
Right.
But
Well,
let's
anyway, I don't even
get
know how we
into.
got there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tailspin. We're a couple of chatty Cathys. Oh, have you seen Paper Girls also, or
Oh
no?
no, yeah, that's where we were going. No, I have not seen that.
Me and Bree finished it, and it's good. It's very different. I don't remember the beginning of Paper Girls super well, but I know enough that it's very different. But it's not bad different. Like how Why the Last Man. It's just like, oh, you're and Runaways both. They're like, oh, you're making this harder. Like you're making things more difficult than what the comic did. With this, like from what I remember, it's just like, how would they have done that in a TV show for a streaming platform? I don't know. But with then
Right.
like they kind of made things easier that way. But it's really good. Casting's really good, and I'd recommend it.
Is it do you know if it's renewed for more?
Not I don't know yet. So everybody listening, give it a watch.
Yeah. I mean, I it's on my short list of like stuff to watch right now.
Yeah, it's just on
Um,
Amazon Prime. It's hard to remember that's a thing.
yeah, well, I keep a list on my phone that
Oh,
way
okay.
because otherwise I would forget everything.
Yeah.
Um, but speaking of that short list, uh, we just finished, except for the bonus episode. the season 1 of the Sandman, and
Oh,
that was really
nice.
good. Like I really enjoyed it, and that is not getting uh picked up, at least at Netflix.
It's not.
No, they said they're not doing a second season.
Oh wow, I had
So
not heard that. That's
yeah,
crazy because that was like trending all over, and
yeah. I mean, it's another reason why people shit on Netflix all the time.
yeah,
Um, but I did hear, and I guess this could be my only bit of news this week, that it's getting shopped around and that HBO and Amazon are considering it. So
yeah. I mean, for its sake, the way HBO's doing things, let's hope it goes to Amazon.
I know, because the thing is I think the number was 13 million is what it takes to make an episode of Sandman, because there's a lot of CG in it, and it looks
Yeah.
good. It's good CG. Um, we know that Amazon could put that money into it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
At the same time, HBO owns DC properties essentially. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, it probably should be there. But at the same time, like you said, they're axing everything. So who
They don't want
knows?
to spend money right now, even though
Right.
losing like they're losing a lot
Yeah.
over it. So I don't get what they're doing. But while we're talking about the DC stuff, I got some DC related news. Let's start off with this. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has been delayed till December 25th, 2023. And Shazam has been moved into its old place to March 17th, 2023. Uh, I think they're just doing more reshoots and stuff, but there's some people that are Snyder Bros basically that are like, this is a sign we're gonna get Ben Affleck back as Batman. That's why he went to film more, and they're doing more with him. He's coming back for sure now, and it's like, I mean, I would love that to be true because I actually enjoyed his Batman for the most part. Outside like him murdering people, but I don't. I'm not. I wouldn't buy stock in that yet.
I really don't like that because at like last time we reported on all this stuff, Shazam was bumped up to this year because everything else was pushed back, and now that's pushed back too. Just bums me out.
Yeah,
And
I
also,
get
I feel like Aquaman has been in production for like 5 years at this point. Like,
right.
what are they waiting on?
I have no idea, man. I
That
think
makes me
the
worried.
well, I think part of the worry is old Amber Heard. That's her name, right? Johnny Depp's old lady. Uh, I think that's probably a big part of it.
Actually, if they like recasted that and they have to reshoot her scenes, then I'm fine with it.
They might not like. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept her, but they changed. And like, I'm going off of like literally nothing. But if they just like limited her stuff and they introduced like a new character that's like, oh hey, look, it's Sally the mermaid, and she's just like, hey, I'm your guide for this.
And Aquaman's like, dang, she's kind of fine though.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
also a redhead that controls water.
Yeah. She's a redhead. She's got a fish butt. That's the only thing. He's like, fish butt, I can dig it.
Yeah, brother.
Okay, so Dan Lin is in talks to take control of film DC, like that line. He's gonna basically be their Kevin Feige if this goes through, and it sounds like it's really gonna happen. And he's a producer. I kind of did some googling. The only real DC thing that he's done, he was a part of this Justice League movie that never got off the ground, which it's like it had the guy that did the Mad Max movies. Like, have you ever listened to anything about that?
No.
It sounded like a trip. He was gonna have like basically the full team with Barry Allen and stuff, and like, and Barry was gonna get killed. Wally was gonna take over. He had like it was cast. He was gonna, he had the whole cast hanging out together to get them like, more like, oh yeah, let's do this. They were gonna start filming, and then the way I remember is it actually got canned, and so they're like, oh okay, and then like, but like Army Hammer was gonna be Batman, I think, and like had a bunch of a bunch of different people. Like Adrian Brody, I think was Wally or Barry, or no, Adam Brody. Adam Brody.
Okay, dude. I was like, wait a second. Can you imagine that schnoz underneath the cowl?
Dude, he'd be a with that schnoz, he'd be a good Batman. Think about how that, the side view would be. Like,
I
oh,
know, right? I know.
that shadow, that can only be the Condor or Batman. But
Actually, I like the Adam Brody as Flash cast
yeah.
though. I used to
Yeah.
like him a lot.
Yeah, it's like there's when you look at the thing as a whole, like I watched a YouTube video on it, so like that was a long time ago, so my knowledge of it is, going away very quickly. But it sounded really cool, and he was going to be the producer, and then kind of got canned, and then he's done other random producing things, like nothing that I was overly enthused by. But also, if you're a producer, all you're trying to do is have that stuff make money, and all of it did. And then he also though produced the Lego Batman movie. And then he said, he's like, the reason why I produced the Lego Batman movie is to get back with DC because I didn't like how the Justice League thing ended. So, like all of those, all the stuff he's done has made money. So I think he's going to be a good mind behind it. And also not being a creative, like the creative person. Like if we got Zach again or whatever, that'd be rough because it's like, oh, it's just my vision. With this guy, he can then do what Marvel should do and be like, hey, I like what you're doing and then you're doing, and I want you guys to connect your stories together, and instead of just making it all cookie cutter.
Right on.
So
Yeah,
let's hope.
I'm not familiar with his stuff. Like I've seen the Mad Max movies, of course, but no, that whole Justice League Immortal, as it's called, because I just looked it up because I want to go through and look at what all the cast was and stuff. It sounds super crazy.
Yeah, I'll
I
try to.
saw that that movie was going to be based off of Tower of Babel, which would have been so awesome.
Yeah, like I'll send you the YouTube video if I can find it that I watched, because like they lay it all out. It's like 30 minutes long though, so it's like make sure you got a good bathroom break
Right.
to watch that. But it's interesting.
Um, man, it's so funny that some of the because I'm looking at the list now. Some of these are just so crazy, but kind of fun. Anyway, we don't have to talk about a shelved movie. We can carry on.
Okay, so things that haven't been shelved, House of Dragons, it's already been renewed for a second season. Did you watch the second episode yet, or has there been a second episode yet? And you still
Yes.
loving it?
Yes, and yes.
Are
It
they
was
gonna be
very
like,
good.
no? They actually introduced a new dragon. It shoots flames out of its nipples, and it talks like Barney. It's weird, and I hate it.
No, it's not been that drastic.
Okay.
It's pretty awesome. We got a pretty fun little scene involving some dragons and Matt Smith, as you would expect from
Yeah.
this show. I like it a lot.
Nice.
Still very high.
Now, we anytime for the most part when I talk about She-Hulk, I was always talking about the lack of beef. Since Matt Smith, he used to be the spindly doctor. Is he now like a little bit of beef, or is he still spindly? Since he's like a dragon charmer, is that what he was?
Writer.
Writer. Okay.
Um, Honestly, haven't been able to tell. I'm gonna say probably still on the spindly side, but like anytime we've seen him, he's pretty much in full plate armor.
I
So like
gotcha.
I don't know. But I mean the couple scenes that he's not in armor, he's just got the cool clothes on. I don't think he's that beefy.
I gotcha. Man, need to get some beef up in there.
Yeah. The thing is like he's more of a cunning,
Mm,
you know, morally gray person, and those usually aren't big old beefcakes, right? So
true.
it is fitting.
I gotcha. I just picture like a dragon boy. He'd be beefed up.
Yeah, I get it.
But speaking of someone that has some beef on him, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's been cast in season 4 of The Boys. No idea who he's been cast as, but I like him a whole lot. So I think he'll be pretty cool.
He's my favorite Thomas Wayne.
I mean, in all fairness, Batman Begins, Thomas Wayne is the coolest. Like,
No,
not the coolest, but
I agree.
the best.
I totally agree. I just wanted to make a joke
Yeah.
about his 30-second screen time before the bat rising scene.
Oh my lord. Dude, speaking of Batman movies really quick. You saw that I tweeted back to someone that said like, which was your favorite? The Batman or Batman Begins? Want to get your opinion. Which one do you prefer between the two?
Batman Begins.
Yeah, I would say Batman Begins is the best Batman origin movie, but it's also, I was thinking about it, isn't it like the only Batman origin movie we've gotten, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say just best Batman movie.
Outside of Phantasm.
Live action
Yeah.
Batman movie.
Yeah, I know. I 100% agree with you. I think that one's the best. I would give Dark Knight probably the second place, though.
I would yeah, I would give that second, and then I would give the Batman with our Pats the third place because I
Yeah,
I really did like that
I
movie.
I like it too, but the Batman Begins is super dang good. Like,
Hmm.
there's stuff about it as a comic book fan that annoy me, but it's still like it's super rad,
Yeah,
especially at a time when like superhero movies really weren't that good.
right. And I mean that cast is just incredible.
Yep.
Just incredible.
Okay, so as a
Speaking of,
oh,
I know we
no,
keep
you good.
diverting here.
We don't have a lot of news, so it's all
Yeah.
good, bud.
Uh old Philip Kennedy Johnson tweeted a picture earlier. I don't know if you saw if you've been on
I
Twitter today and saw it.
don't
He
think I
was
have.
with Grant Morrison in
Hmm.
Scotland, and he posted a selfie of the two of them, and I commented on the picture and I said, "It's crazy seeing the best two writers to ever have written Superman together in one picture." And he liked the comment, so I was like,
Nice.
"All right, little interaction with old PKJ there, as I just now started calling him."
Mark Waid's punching the air right now.
No, he's great. Birthright is top 5 easily, but
Yeah.
still.
So as a Star Wars boy, this is a question that I'm gonna ask you because John Boyega stated he won't return to Star Wars. Is that a big loss in your opinion since you watched the rest of the movies?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Um I didn't dislike his character, but I also didn't like his character too much.
Well,
Um
when I
and
don't
and I want to explain that before anyone thinks differently of me. Like the whole first movie, he's like, I don't want to be involved. I just want to leave. It's like, okay, fine. He goes through some character development, and then he decides he's going to sacrifice himself there at the end. He goes to do that, and then they have Rose swoop in and stop him from doing that. And
Rose, that was the second movie, wasn't it? That Rose,
it might have been. They're all
because
dog shit.
I never saw Rose, and I only saw the first of the sequels.
Okay. Well, then at the end of the second one, he's going to sacrifice himself for the cause. And it in my opinion, would have made his character just the best it could have been, right? From not wanting to be involved to like understanding and then sacrificing himself for the cause. They stopped that from happening. And after that, I was just like, this guy
Yeah.
sucks. Like if he wanted to do that, just let him do it. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, when I from the first one, I thought he was like pretty cool, and I was like, "There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff here." But then it just sounds like I don't want to say Marvel, but it's Disney was like worried that like since everyone thought he was gay, they're like, "We got to give him a love interest stat," and then it sounds like that just got rid of like all of his development. But that's also coming from angry people that hated Rose on the internet. So it's like,
Right. I mean, there is nothing about those movies that warranted the hate that those actors got.
yeah,
The issue with those movies was not the casting.
no, but I think the casting could have been awesome. Like if they would have just done things better. The
Yeah,
execution is just so bad.
I agree. I totally agree. So like, you know, it's just the stuff with Finn just kind of petered out and went nowhere. I mean, even by the
Yeah.
last one, he wasn't really doing much. When in the first one, he was somehow picking up a lightsaber and going toe to toe with somebody that had been training for it most of their lives.
Yeah.
Clearly, you can see why, how I feel about it based on how I
Mm-hmm.
just said that. So, it is what it is. I don't think we're going to get any spinoffs or anything involving that sequel trilogy. I think that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are trying to like fix the problems that the people had with that trilogy, with these other projects. So I don't think they're ever going to go back to that, at least not for a long time. Give it 10, 15 years when people do the same shit that they did with the prequels and like, oh no, those movies are great, we need a Finn spinoff. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Well, like that's what sucks though too. It's like I don't know. I mean, I see this stuff where what's that new show that's coming out, like the Alderaan or whatever?
Andor.
Andor, sorry. That one where they're like, we're gonna make this. Not nothing big. It's gonna be regular people in this space stuff. It's like, I don't care about regular people in Star Wars. It's like, give me a Wookiee and like just have them fight a bunch of droids. Like, I don't like it's like real people and their real problems. Let's find out what happens when, you know, they stop being friends and they get real. It's like, no, that's not. It's
I
like,
mean, I don't think that's what Andor is going to be.
I
Andor is
mean,
going to be
I'm
cool.
I'm making fun of it, but like as soon as they're like, we saw the stuff with the Skywalkers and the Jedi and the cool flying ships and shit. Well, now we got real people.
Right,
It's
but the
like
real
it's
people are spies.
yeah, but it's Star Wars. We want the people with the glow swords fighting the other people with the glow swords, and then the little teddy bears killing a bunch of like being little terrorists killing the empire and stuff. Like that's what we want. You don't like just be like, nah, we want some spy drama. It's like no.
I mean, I do. I feel like no matter what they come out with, you're not going to watch it anyway.
Yeah,
So
no,
it
you're
doesn't
right.
matter what you want.
Like, I mean, okay, if they're just like, we made the Gladiator Wookiee hour, where it's just a Wookiee enters in a thing and he's fighting service droids. I'm like, you piqued my interest.
Okay, so basically, you're only going to watch a new Star Wars thing if it involves Wookiees.
I mean, or Ewoks, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe Gungans.
Aren't they doing a new Ewok something or other
I
though?
don't know. I don't
Okay,
keep
well
up.
you have to watch it if they do.
I mean, it just depends on how much it leans into the furry demographic. Because if it's like hardcore furries, I'm gonna check right out.
No, you're not. We're watching it for content for this show.
We'll be watching and we'll look at you like, I hope this doesn't awaken something in us.
Anyway,
All right, so we got some kaiju news. This is interesting. So we got a new King Kong series coming to Disney Plus. It's gonna be written by the Paper Girls show writer Stephanie Folsom, and I'm interested in this because you might be asking yourself like, hey, how can Disney get a King Kong show if Legendary's doing Kong? Well, King Kong is public domain. So this will probably be going in a more, original style, original route. So it's gonna like the way I think I read somewhere where it's gonna be kind of like um early Skull Island stuff with Kong. So we'll see how that goes. I'm like I said, I'm interested. It should be pretty cool as long as they don't, I don't know, try to focus too much on stupid stuff. It should be fun. Like I mean, just seeing giant dinosaurs on the Disney and monkey fighting dinosaurs on Disney budget should be pretty cool.
I hope it's just Kong killing these dinosaurs in just the most gruesome way possible, just like splitting
Yeah.
jaws and stuff.
I mean, dude, that's what he did in the original.
I know.
Yeah, and he played with the jaw afterwards.
Give me more. I want it
Yeah,
more gruesome.
right on. just eating the villagers. Like, we have to build a wall. Like, there's one of the villagers that has like really terrible hair, and he's like, we have to keep the monkey out.
This monkey, huge.
Okay, and then we got some Kong or Godzilla v Kong sequel news. It's got a plot synopsis. So here is the synopsis. The latest entry follows up the explosive showdown of Godzilla vs. Kong with an all new cinematic adventure pitting the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal, undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging their very existence and our own. So that's
Okay, so do
exciting.
you think that's going to be a new villain, or do you have some theories on who that could be?
So I think it's Space Godzilla because it's either gonna I think it's either gonna be Space Godzilla or a new villain. I mean, like the main problem with all of this is the guy that's directing it, he clearly comes off as someone that doesn't pay attention to anything that he's done because like whenever I'm using this evidence to say Space Godzilla, it'll be like, oh well, I don't know anything that's going on with my own movie. I'm just here to kind of make stuff look cool action wise. So it might not be accurate. But there's been enough like deleted scene stuff and like actual stuff where that they're wanting to show of Kong's teaming up with Godzilla's to fight this super, Godzilla that's in outer space. And like there are pictures of that like were like cave paintings, like who painted these that were in the Hollow Earth, that type of thing has been shown online. So it's like makes you believe that there is a space Godzilla that they have to fight. So we'll
Okay.
see. But at the same time, that director, he doesn't instill hope. Like if it was Michael Dougherty again, I'd be like, I'm here for this kaiju ride that you're making because it's just fan
Why isn't
service.
it him?
King of the Monsters did not do very well. So, we almost didn't get Godzilla versus Kong. And then
Oh, so did this guy do the first Godzilla versus
no.
Kong?
Yeah, this guy did Godzilla vs. Kong. It's
Okay.
whatever, I don't remember his name, but yeah, he like and then he's like, oh, I have a 5-hour cut of this movie. It's like because that was around the time where like Zack Snyder's Snyder Cut was a thing, so everyone's got like their huge cuts of movies. It's like, okay, well, just focus on making this one make more sense, sir. And he's like, no one wants it to.
Well, I hope that it's good. I mean, I've been digging most of this stuff,
Yeah,
especially King of the Monsters.
yeah. No, I mean it's gonna be probably more just like wait till the action starts. That's gonna be because that's about how King of the Monsters was. Which it's like it's fun. It's gonna be really great to see in the IMAX, but I don't know about the rewatchability.
Right. Okay. Well, that's the end of the news. I had a fat nothing this week,
Hey,
so
hey, man, don't beat yourself up. You had that first bit of news.
that's true. Thanks, man.
Hey, anytime, buddy.
But now we'll take our ad break, and when we get back, we'll talk some comics. So we'll be right back. All right. So I did want to shout out today dropped the next D&D episode of the Testing Room.
Oh shoot, okay.
So if anybody wants to hear me continue my dungeon mastering, then check out the Testing Room wherever you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah, we'll have to remember to plug that at the end too, because I don't think anyone listens to this part.
That's true. That's true. But it was super fun. If you guys want to hear me do a really bad voice,
Oh, I'm excited.
it's like those guys were gassing me up for it, but the whole like 5-minute intro is me reading Alex's script that he wrote for the recap, which was a great script. He just asked me to read it in like a UK, poor peasant kind of voice. So I do a little bit Irish, a little bit of Scotch, a little bit of British. It's all bad, but
I mean, could be worse. It could be like all I can do whenever it has to be British. I'm like, oi, and then I talk normal.
that is so funny. You say a word that's really not even a
Yeah.
word.
So like, oi. So I have a story.
Oh man, that's great. But it was a fun episode. I'm really loving playing with those guys.
No,
And mhm.
no, I just have a story to share. But no, I'm excited to check that out. I'm gonna put that in my quay on Spotify for sure.
Excellent.
So Friday, when I went to see the old girlfriend, she ordered pizza, so I went to pick it up, and I'm wearing a Godzilla shirt because that's like 80% of my attire. And while I'm like picking up the pizza, the person that was, at the thing, he's like, I gotta ask, what's your favorite Godzilla movie? And I'm like, probably Astro Monster. It's really good. And so we start talking Godzilla. And it's one of those things where it's like, and you probably get this at the shop all the time. I knew a lot more than him, and he was saying stuff that was wrong. But at the same time, he was new to Godzilla, and I didn't want to be a jackass. Because he was like, yeah, I think it's like, because he also asked me like what my favorite era was. I'm like, it's probably either the Heisei or Showa. Like it's probably Showa, but I do love the Heisei because like I like got all of those one year for my birthday, and I kind of grew up watching from that moment on. And he's like, yeah, and he's like, I like how like the first director was like really into practical, and like the later one, like the second director, he just was trying to lean more into special, like the computer generated effects. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. I was like, the second director was in the second movie, and that was still practical effects. Like I don't know when this happened, but
Yeah, you know what? He tried. He
yeah,
tried.
yeah. No, I mean that's one of those things too where I'm like, and then it was also clear like he's a nerd. Like he was a clear nerd who isn't used to people like actually enjoying talking to him about the thing he likes. Cause like he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, no, I don't get to talk about Godzilla often. So I'm more than okay with this.
Like, honey, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a minute.
Like I'm having them put this back in the microwave. Well, the worst part too is I didn't, because like I'm having this nice conversation about Godzilla. I put the pizza, I then go back in my truck and I drive back to her place, and then we open up the pizza. It's wrong, and I have to go back. And then he feels really bad that the pizza was wrong.
Gosh, I hope it wasn't too far away.
No, it wasn't that far. And she actually drove me back the second time since my arm's busted. She's like, I don't like you driving. It's like I just drove to you. Like
Multiple
yeah,
hours.
it's not that bad.
That's so funny. Yeah, I do get that a lot at the shop. The difference is they think they know what they're talking about, and they think I'm stupid, and
Yeah.
they like show that in the way they speak to me.
They're like talking very like Spider-Man, he's DC.
Gosh, nice callback to the time that actually happened. Except it was Supergirl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad you got to talk to some Godzilla though, man.
Yeah, man. And it's like, I don't know. It's like it's always just fun, even though like I know more than like a normal person should. It's still like, it's just nice. It's just nice talking, like seeing how a normal person reacts to Godzilla.
Yeah, for sure. All right, folks. Welcome back. If you would like to hear Casey tell a fun pizza and Godzilla related story, then you can do so over on our YouTube channel.
They're like, oh Jesus, not again.
I know, right?
That's all he
like,
talks about.
Skip. But that is Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube. But right now we're gonna talk
wait,
about
really quick.
Yep.
If you want us to deliver a pizza and that's on the inside, it's written in Jake's blood exactly what I said. All you have to do is go to Papa John's website, and the special instructions say this is exactly what I want, what I just said, and it'll be there. Okay, so what comics did you read, buddy? What?
Every time I think you've gotten to the most ridiculous point that you can get, You one up yourself.
Well, like the worst part too is like I'll think about these and I'll be like, I'm gonna say this, and then like I don't say it and I just come up with something stupider.
Well, I applaud you. Anyway, I read Sonic the Hedgehog 52. Oh, I just realized I didn't read that, which is a really big bummer because I was sure looking forward to it. Action Comics 46, Task Force Z 11, Robin 17, End After End number 1, Fables 154, and Immortal Red Sonja number 5.
Dang, no public domain or Detective Comics.
Yep, Detective Comics was the one I was referencing. And Public Domain, I forgot.
Oh, okay, man. Just do a callback to an earlier podcast. You should be reading this. Like, you really should.
Look, I'm just glad that you feel that way about it and
I
that
know
I
it's
was
really good.
correct.
Yeah, no, you. I mean, you know me very well. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just. I just wanted to do that. Okay, man. I got three then that you didn't read. How many do you have?
Oh, I've got 7.
Okay, so I mean, I'll let you go first. We read Task Force, Robin, and Action together.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you say what you read though?
Oh, I did. I did not. Okay, so I read Farmhand number 20, Public Domain issue 3, Detective Comics issue 1063, Task Force Z number 11. I am Robin, dum 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 dum, whatever number this is, and Action Comics 1046.
All right. So I'll start it off with End After End, number 1. It's written by David Andre and Tim Daniel, with art by Sanando C. And this is like any current anime where a guy in the real world dies and then gets transported to like a fantasy type world where a bunch of crazy stuff is going on. It's like a mix of sci-fi and fantasy. But some guy tells him that if he dies here, he dies for realsies, and that he's now part of an army to protect this like flying elf fairy queen type gal, and they're fighting a bunch of undead. Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. It was weird. I will check out the second issue because I like the art and the premise so far. It was just kind of a lot of info in a short amount of time, but still perfectly fine. And also the cover is really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10.
I think it'd be really funny if it ends with him dying in this world and he just wakes up in the hospital bed and like his family's all around, like, oh my God, you're still awake. And he's just like, I want to go back. And he tries to kill himself.
That's depressing.
Yeah. So next up, or first up for me, it's Farmhand 20. And this is by Rob Guillory. And boy, oh boy, this is awesome. Like, so good. You get the kind of the reveal on what's going on with the seed and all this stuff. And then, he gets to talk to his mom because she's very smart and they have a talk, and then, lots of stuff and a crazy saga like cliffhanger. And I've been liking this book. This is the best issue so far, and this is, like, they're on a hiatus. They're going to come back early 2023. So
Oof.
if you're listening to this right now, pick up the trades from Comic Headquarters on Telegraph Road and start reading it because this is so darn good. Like, I had him autograph the first issue, and I'm gonna have him autograph this one because, like I said, favorite issue I've read so far. I don't really want to get too much into it because I do think this is really, really good. Everyone should be reading it. This is a 10 out of 10. I'll even say 999 out of 1,000
Pick of the week
because
then.
it's so, yeah, for sure.
Nice.
It's amazing. Like I really really love this issue. The art in it, it's just so good. All of it's so good, and it also had me thinking. And I don't know if you know the answer to this, but whatever happened to the Chew book that was coming out? Did John Layman just give it up?
I don't know.
Because
You
I
got
forgot all about it, and then I'm like,
right.
Layman doesn't talk about it on Twitter, so
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to shoot me a text and remind me to like look into it to see if maybe we just missed it. Because
yeah,
unfortunately, you're the only one that gets it from
I
me.
know.
But whenever I'm filling out an order form, it tells me like how many I ordered of the last issue. So like
Yeah,
I would have seen that and been like, oh yeah, I need to get this one. So
yeah, because yeah, it's never on the email because I'm the only I'm the only one, so
yeah, same
you
with
don't have the
Farmhand,
yeah. That's why I'm saying like, guys, for real, this is very good. Get the trades.
which I do have. I
Yeah,
keep it on hand just in case.
just in case if you're listening and get it. It's good.
All right. So next for me is Immortal Red Sonja #5. It's written by Dan Abnett, and the art is done by Luca Calandria. And I like this a lot. No surprise to anybody. Sonia gets to like this pool of healing water where she puts the guy that was the prisoner in that wizard's tower, and he remembers that he was the champion of this realm and who the cursed chainmail actually wanted to be bound to save the realm. So Sonia jumps into the pool of like healing water and she's able to take off the chainmail. Um, so we get lots of fun scenes like this going forward. Um, but anyway, then of course, this cursed like water demon lady pops up out of the water and Sonia has to fight her. So she decides that she's going to put the chainmail back on because she doesn't like how everything in this realm is manipulating her and she kind of wants to like end things on her terms. So she puts it back on and also she wants to help out this other guy whose name is Lancelot. And yeah, so next they are going to go searching for Merlin. I like it a lot. I mean, this is probably my pick of the week. I don't have any reason not to give it a 10. And also, just look at this cover, dude.
Yeah. That's that. If you weren't a married man, I would say you'd get that as a poster and hang above your bed, but you can't say that anymore.
And like the thing is like Sonia gets like a lot of variant covers. They're all just incredible.
Yeah.
And, like it's a problem.
Yeah, I bet.
But anyway, your turn.
Okay. So issue 3 of Chip Zdarsky's Public Domain. And this is a good issue. And we get some more backstory on, the different characters and stuff. And there's some court related stuff that's going on about, the character. And it's just a really good time. I'm not going to say too much since I'm assuming you're going to read it
Yep.
because you really should. And yeah, I mean, I like it a lot, liking the series a lot. Good stuff. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
All right. Fables 154. It's written by Bill Willingham with art by Mark Buckingham. And yeah, it's just more of all these characters and their various adventures. Like in the last one, the kids of Bigby Wolf go off on their own adventures. So a good chunk of this issue is just following the various kids on their adventures. and then the new Jack and her friend, the talking Mrs. Bear, are wandering through the woods when they are transported to the modern day, which, as I've stated many times, is my least favorite thing about fantasy. But I know that that's part of this series, is that it mixes the two. So I'm not like that upset because I have no reason to be. That's what this is. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but I like it a lot, and I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Right on, dude. Okay, so next up, it is Detective Comics 1063 by Rom V and Raphael Albuquerque on the art. And so, like, I have questions about this, and I wish you had read it because then you could be like, boy, I have the same questions. But because, like, Two-Face is in this, and this isn't a spoiler, but he is not the same Two-Face that we see in Task Force Z. He's Harvey Dent, and he's got a gold mask covering his ugly face, and then he's like, yeah, I'm cured, get away from me with all this stuff, Batsy, like that type of thing. And but then we get more stuff with the other characters. This is a very captivating book. It's very good. I'm interested in seeing what you think about it. I still can't really get into the Jim Gordon story. I think part of it's the art, and it's also just, I don't know, I'm just not really feeling it. And it's by Jake's favorite writer, Simon Spurrier, and Danny does the art. And the big problem for me, I just don't like this art, and so I couldn't get into it.
I love Danny's art.
Yeah, it's hit and miss for me, and this one's just not doing it. But so I didn't really even read that. But this is solid. I'm like I said, very captivated. I'm interested in seeing what's going on and how, and maybe Task Force Z just takes place before, or they just aren't going to even. Rambee's like, I'm not reading that zombie crap. I don't want to. And but
That's definitely what he sounds like.
I know, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give it probably a 8 because it just, like I said, feels really disconnected. And someone that's reading a lot of comics, it's like the least you can do is try to connect the dots so it makes sense. But yeah, it's still pretty solid.
All right. Next is Sonic the Hedgehog 52. It's written and drawn by Evan Stanley. And this issue was awesome because the whole thing is a fight with Metal Sonic.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Sonic and Tails, along with Belle and Kit, who was one of the main characters in that Bad Guys series, or no, Imposter Syndrome, are all trying to run away from Metal Sonic. And meanwhile, Surge is breaking into some Robotnik technology and amping up her own power. And she ends up running into him and plans on fighting him, which will be cool in the next issue. But anyway, this one's just all about the action, but it's the best action because it's Metal Sonic and he's my favorite. So yeah, there you go. This is actually one of like the better issues lately, so I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Right on, dude. Okay, I think all I got left is our Muchies. Do
Yeah.
you have any? Okay, cool. What order do you want to do these in, buddy?
How about Task Force Robin Action?
You're never gonna believe that's exactly how I had it set in.
That's our
Okay.
thing now.
Yeah, that's the two worlds
If you walk up to one of us and do that with that face, we'll know.
Yeah. We'll know you're watching this right now.
You're the one person.
Well, it's the two people because I always watch it and I always comment to help the algorithm. It's not working.
Insert comment.
Okay, so Task Force Z number 11 by Matthew Rosenberg and Eddie Barrows doing the pencils. And I'm not gonna lie, I know I said this about Farmhand, but this is the best issue of Task Force Z yet, probably. It's so bonkers, so out there, so crazy. Just a ton of fun. What do you think?
No, I agree. There's a lot going on in this one, but
Yeah.
it's super cool. The action is great. We get those characters I never read from Tom King's Batman run. It's got everything in it.
The thing that annoys me a little bit is the beginning. And I don't know if you will agree, but it's like, oh, this is a few months ago. This is it yesterday. This is it now. Like that was annoying.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's pretty rad. The fight scenes are cool. Just, yeah, there's not much to complain about here, honestly. I mean, outside of like Gotham's power, Gotham and Gotham Girl's powers are just stupid and they don't make any sense. And then also that Batman suit, I don't remember it ever being that strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they gotta amp Bloom up somehow, but still. But
That part looked funny though, just seeing him in that armor.
yeah. But like how he was able to like just to, toss Solomon Grundy around like he's nothing was like, I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
But what would you give it?
Probably a 9 or 9.5, honestly.
I'm right at a 9. I like if it wasn't for that beginning, it'd probably be getting a 10 also. It was super good.
Yeah. All right. Next is Robin 17, the final issue of the series. And it's written by Joshua Williamson with art by Roger Cruz. And I'm okay with how it wrapped up. It had some nice character moments. It's one of those things where like, could it go on? Absolutely. But because it ends like it does, I think that it wraps everything up kind of nicely.
I was very let down personally.
Oh, okay.
It feels like, oh yeah, this is just a setup for that next Batman v Robin nonsense that's coming up. And then like they're doing their whole beach vacation shtick, like where it's the pictures, like, well, that's fun. And I like that and everything. But then like it's just like, oh hey, let's you come with me. He's like, nah, I'm gonna stay here. No one's ever here. We're probably not going to see you again for a good while until Williamson's writing again because the next writer won't care about you as a character.
Well, see, I could kind of see like this feels like Williamson said, I need to focus on Dark Crisis. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, Robin Volume 2, number 1
I
with
would love that.
Williamson and Cruz, and it just starts back up.
My main worry about that though is we're going to be getting that Tim Drake Robin book. And I have a feeling that's one of the reasons why this is getting canned, or not canned, but stopped, because that he's getting his own book, and that book is going to be so bad because she has never once proven that she's a good writer. So,
yeah.
But then like how they beat the dead man, how he's just like, take your heart out. I learned from her when she did it to me. It's like, you can't just be like, I learned how to rip out your heart. This is a new technique that I have.
Or can it?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know martial arts. Who knows? But then they're like, how do you get this power? I don't know. Okay, let's not investigate this Batman's son.
Right. Nah, I get your complaints. I get it.
I mean, part of it is I'm being a wet blanket, but I don't know. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way with all of that, because it's like you have to, like, this guy doesn't seem like, you're not a dummy, Damian. This bad guy is not competent enough to be breaking free and running off and then getting power amped up, and then just to have you rip his heart out easy peasy. It's like there had to be someone else involved. And he's like, I don't think so. I want to just go jet skiing with my girlfriend.
Wow, your Damien voice is spot on.
Hey, we've only read him.
That's true.
So that could be it.
That is true. Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, it was kind of a letdown that Lord Deathman got super amped and taken down so easily, but
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? It's over.
Yeah. So yeah, I like I said, I was very let down, but you seem to like it, so I'll let you get your grade first, and we'll end with the downer. Me.
Sure. I was just gonna give it like an 8.
Oh, see, I'm at about a 6 because it's just boy, I was let down, but I'm very much nicer because when you're let down, you're like a -2. They shouldn't live with me. I'm like, it didn't ruin my day, but boy, it's a little let down. Joshua Williamson, you should be better than this.
If it didn't ruin your day, then you didn't read Black Knight Curse of the Ebony Blade.
Fair enough. I did not read that actually.
All right.
Okay, then
And
act.
finally,
Yeah,
oh, sorry, it's
yeah,
you.
yeah. It is. We got Action Comics 1046 by Phil Kenny Johnson, and artist is Fico Osio. Now I was thinking about this book, and you can say, Casey, you're crazy. I have a feeling this one's gonna not be as great collected. That's a hot take for you, but this was great reading it this way. What'd you think?
Yeah, I agree. I also wanted to shout out, and I'll probably use this cover whenever I post that the episode is live. But this Art Germ cover is the beach version.
Nice.
Also, Hunky Superman in the back is funny, but
There's the
man,
beef.
yeah, Supergirl just looks incredible. So, anyway, yeah, this was cool. I mean, we kind of knew that the little glowing girl was, gonna be the thing, or at least I did. And
Yeah,
usually I don't catch that kind of stuff, but
it's it's one of those things that's pretty obvious from the start, but it was cool.
it was. What I wasn't really expecting was right after that when he gets back to what's his name? Felix,
Yeah,
something like that. Felix,
Skrillex.
Skrillex. But yeah, I still love this book a lot. It's just so good all the time.
hmm And I mean, the backup, it's the world without Clark Kent, Philip Kennedy Johnson, and David Lapham. Uh, yeah, this was good, but it's also like, boy, this team is overkill for this not very tough guy.
Yep.
But I liked it a lot, and I'm glad that Steele's getting some time to shine because you know we haven't got much Steele lately
That's true.
outside of this in the back of these issues.
Right, and the one panel in the issue when he's talking to his niece.
Yeah,
But it's yeah, I agree. I feel like any one of these super beings would be just fine for this person.
yeah. I remember like I had a coloring book as a kid, and it was just Steele fighting this guy by himself. It's like, boy, like now that's a fair fight, but then it's like, oh no, 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 we're gonna toss in Supergirl, Superboy, Superman, other Superman.
Yeah, it'd be funny if like the whole backup was them actually doing overkill on this guy.
Just
I mean, just beating
beating
him
the
to the
crap.
point, yeah, where they don't, you can't even recognize him anymore. But yeah, what would you rate it, man?
I'm gonna go probably a 10. I really liked it. It's not as good as Farmhand, but I really, really liked it.
Yeah, I'll say like 9.5, only because I've been so used to Riccardo Federici's art.
Yeah. See, that's
But
that's what I'm saying. It's like that's why I don't think it's gonna be as good collected because they did switch artists a lot. And like reading it collected, that might take away from it.
yeah, but we'll see how this whole thing wraps up next week, which is a good segue, Casey.
Yes, which is the
What?
stupidest thing.
Yeah, I know. And we'll talk about that. But what are you excited for next week?
I'm gonna pull up the email. So I am not a lot. I'm not a lot excited about much next week, and there's like two books, but Iron Fist, which it feels like that's been a good long while.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing when I was adding it to this list. I was like, wait, it's been months.
Yeah, I'm like, because I kept thinking like, did we miss it? So like every once in a while I'd go back to the email, but I'm like, wait, Jake never talked about it, so I would have like he owns a shop, he would have for sure seen that he didn't. We didn't have that. The Flash annual, I love me some Flash, and I am gonna say the Unlimited Death Ranger Power Rangers thing. That might be really good, or it might just be terrible. We'll find out.
I just realized I did a typo in that email and I put Superman War Wolf Apocalypse and not War World.
See, that's what
So,
that really threw me off too, because whenever I Googled it, I typed in Warwolf.
gosh, you ever just look at something and think, "Wow, I'm a dumbass."
Dude, every
Except you
time I
own a
look in the
shop
mirror.
and like 1,000 people look at this. Gosh, anyway. So for me personally, also, God, there's another typo. I'm terrible. I'm excited for the Superman Warwolf Apocalypse one shot, the Wonder Girl annual, and man, I also have to say Iron Fist because I'm really not going to be reading much else this week.
Yeah. You know, this goes to a really good time to get our sponsor, Grammarly. See, if you had Grammarly, Jake, it would automatically correct this and you would never have had an issue. So go to grammarly.com/2worldspod slash this isn't a real sponsor slash please Grammarly sponsor us.
All right, Grammarly, that one was for free. Now email us back. Anyway, yeah, I think so. What we had said before, we said what we were excited for. Why is there a Superman Warwolf Apocalypse one shot and not just the next issue of Action Comics? Why are they wrapping up the story arc of Action Comics in a one shot outside of Action Comics?
Exactly. It makes zero sense. It's really stupid. And just to show you how dumb I was also going to say, and why are they calling it Warwolf? Like, that's legitimately where my brain was. I didn't know it was War Worlds.
Yeah. Nope, that's just me being so stupid. The
I was
thing
just like,
is I send myself a preview of these and look it over, and I looked at two typos and thought, yep, sounds good to me.
it's like I'd read Warwolf for sure.
I mean, I would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Superman Warwolf. I'm like,
What?
yeah, count me
I was
in.
like, at first, I was like, what stupid crap is Tom King writing now? And I had to Google. I'm like, why is Philip Kennedy Johnson ending
Dude.
his thing with a werewolf?
That's a new segment for this show. Is it a Jake typo or a Tom King series? I love
Oh,
it.
that's
That is a
hilarious.
hit segment. Anyway, that nonsense and hilarity brings us to the end of the episode. So, closing plugs. Just kidding. You weren't even going to stop me.
Well, no, I was just gonna do the Fantastic Four after closing plugs. I don't care.
Oh, okay. I was like, I wonder if he's going to catch it. But anyway, go ahead, man. What's the Fantastic
Okay,
Four?
so it's Fantastic Four time. So give me 4 closing plugs that we can say at the end of a podcast. No, I was just thinking in my head the other day, what would be like some fun video games for comic book characters that have never been used in a video game before? If you want to get really weird with it and just be like, here's the plot synopsis for this game, I'm going to do it for one of mine. You can do it for as many of yours as you want. Cause like I was just thinking about that. There was a Sega Saturn Incredible Hulk game that I remember when I was a kid where you could play as Bruce Banner. And I thought that sounded really cool at the time. But then now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that would be terrible.
Definitely don't remember that.
I remember the case. I never had it, but I remember seeing the case at like Alco or someplace.
My favorite place to buy video games.
It's like, oh
Oh
boy,
man.
$20 over market value. Sign me up.
Was it really at Alco?
Everything was more expensive at Alco. That was their motto. It's like here, everything's pricier.
Anyway, okay, so uh I'm gonna go with the question, and I'm thinking lean heavily, obviously, into detective conspiracy stuff. But do you remember that game? I'm blanking on the name of it, where you like had to read people's like facial expressions. Like that was a really
LA
big.
Noir.
Yes, that one. Kind of like
I
that, but set in the
was
DC universe.
so excited for that game. And then I got it and I was like, So upset. I was so excited for this game.
Okay, well, it'll be like that except good.
Because, well, here's what they would do. It's like you're supposed to read their expressions, but this is how they would do the expressions if they're lying. They're like, I don't know what happened. Or then other times they'll just be like, I don't know what happened. And you're like,
Really?
yeah, it was like the technology that they wanted was not there yet. And they're like, we're doing it anyway.
Okay, well, that's my first one.
Okay.
The second one,
And I would play the shit out of it, by the way.
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Thank you. Second one is Booster Gold, just because I think he deserves a game. It could be a fun comedy action adventure game.
You know, something really quick. I just think about Booster Gold. That would be really cool too, since he is the type of guy that wants to be making money. If it had like the crazy taxi, like to get his superhero stuff done, he had to get, in a certain amount of time, and then like the more fame you'd get or whatever.
Yeah, dude, I would love that because I adore Crazy
I know
Taxi.
you did.
So yeah, that would be awesome. And also imagine if like instead of an actual fun video game, you're just Michael as a museum security guard before he becomes Booster Gold. That's the not fun version. That's the new game plus.
Yeah, that's the one where young Casey would be like, "Oh wow, I get to be Michael."
And it is for Sega Saturn.
Yeah. Oh boy, look at these graphics. It looks so real.
Next is going to be a Nova game, because I feel like there's a lot of untapped potential in a Marvel Cosmic game. Now, I haven't played Guardians of the Galaxy, but because of that, I'm going to pretend like it doesn't exist and say that there's lots of potential for a Marvel Cosmic game. And then finally, I'm going to say Spider-Gwen. Now, hear me out. It's one part the Spider-Man game on PlayStation that everybody loves, except you're Gwen and her universe. The other part is Guitar Hero because she plays in a rock band. So
I'm all about
you
that.
swing around, you do your stuff, and then you get to the venue and you change, and then it's the Guitar Hero part. I think people would play the hell out of that.
I do too, man. That sounds awesome. Okay. So my first one, it's going to be Legion of Superheroes. And you get to choose whichever one you want, the whole list. But each one has specific games for it. And since I know a total of like 3 characters, I'm just going to go with my favorite one, Matter Eater Lad. And all he's doing is eating food.
Wait, actual food or like anything?
Anything. It's like it'll just be like one of those old games where like they'll like slide something to you and you just have to grab it and eat it really quick, and there'll be bombs and you have to be like, oh, no bombs for me because that'll hurt.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you said anything because it's like he can eat all matter, but you're just like, nope, food only.
Yeah, it's like no thank you, I'm off duty, I just want food. Okay, and then this one, he's technically been like in Spider-Man games, but I'm still going to count it. A J. Jonah Jameson game where you have to then like choose the best picture of Spider-Man to go on the front page.
Okay, is that like a mobile game or a mini game inside of another game?
Nope, it is 100% PS5 exclusive.
$60.
70.
$70.
J.K. Simmons is doing the voice, of course, because he's like, I'll be him. Give me Spider-Man. And then I'll do, I'm trying to think of like another one that I can do before I get to my stupidest one that I'm the most excited about. Let's go with an Alfred the Butler game. Again, kind of cheating because he's been in like Batman games before, but this is one, it's just like all he does is he has to clean up the Batcave and the mansion in like a timely manner, and every once in a while, like, the Joker's gas has gone off, everyone's laughing, and like that type of stuff.
Okay, You may think that sounds silly, but there's a game that came out recently called like Power Wash Simulator.
I've
People would
heard about that.
absolutely play a game where you clean up the Batcave.
I'm sure they would, especially if it's on Steam, because people are like, oh, it's on Steam and there's a $2 discount for this $50 game. I twist my arm, Steam. Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys.
Okay, and then my last one. You remember that game where it's like where you're just delivering paper. It's like Paperboy, I think is what it's called.
It is called Paperboy, yeah.
Well, this will be called Willie Lumpkin, the Paper Man, and he has to deliver the news around New York. But there's like different, like it's Marvel New York, so different, like giant, because terrible things are happening, and so he's just trying to do this different stuff, and every day it ends. Like every mission, it always ends at the Baxter building. He's like, I got your mail, Ben Grimm. And he's just like, eat it, Willie. And he just takes the mail and walks away.
Why is he so mean to Willie?
Because he's had a bad day. He's fighting Galactus. And then he gets egged by the Yancey Street King. He's not a happy man.
Oh, he's not. He's probably like, oh man, I get to finish this shitty day delivering it to my favorite hero, the Thing. And then the Thing's like, eat it, Willie.
And then Willie, as he's walking away, he's like, that rock bastard, I fucking hate him.
As he takes an egg to the face that's you actually become a villain. The whole game is a villain origin story.
It just ends with him killing
Oh, I love it. Even the Kingpin's like, I don't want to mess with him.
He's like, he works for the USPS. They've seen some real shit.
Going postal with Willie. All right. Now that we've had many laughs here at the end of the episode, it is time to end. So, if you would, please go to facebook.com/twoworldspodcast and give our page a like. You can also follow us on Twitter at 2_worlds_PC and on Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, please go to our YouTube channel. That's Two Worlds Podcast, and subscribe to the channel.
And leave us a comment about, your favorite idea for a video game. Like, just be stupid like we were. And also, Jake was on another podcast doing some D&D and stuff. So plug that again, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
The 5th episode of the D&D with the Testing Room Boys has come out. It came out today, so whenever you're listening to this, it will be out. And it was a good time. You get to hear me do bad voices. So check that out on the Testing Room, wherever you're listening to this podcast.
And after you give us 5 stars, give them 5 stars.
Yeah, they're great guys. They deserve your stars. But hey, we'd love to stay in chat, but I have to tell Casey how to do everything because I'm all knowing. So we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.